St. Paul's was first organized under the leadership of Reverend Nola in 1844. That same year, a log building was erected to house the congregation on top of a hill above Mattis Creek near Heights and Baumgardner Roads, where our cemetery now sits. And on that property stood an eastern red cedar tree, already alive and thriving. But it was just getting started. Eastern red cedars can live a long time, typically surviving between 100 and 300 years, and some living much, much longer. That eastern red cedar had established itself for at least 30 years before our first church was built. It saw our congregation through its first 75 years of existence before we moved over to Telegraph Road. It had seen weddings and baptisms and confirmations and the funerals of parishioners and community folk. It became the backdrop for summer picnics and Christmas celebrations. And for the last 108 years, it has been a stately presence over our cemetery, standing as a silent sentinel over those who have found their final resting place under the care of its branches. In 2024, after easily reaching an age of over 200 years, this old growth red cedar had to be taken down. Unbeknownst to us, a new family had found a home within its trunk, a nest of over 400 wasps. It was a sad day when that tree was felled, and I have to admit that I shed a tear. But this would not be the end of its story. Ken Leach, a friend of this congregation, asked if he could take the logs to see what was left which was still usable. He hauled them away, had them milled, and for almost another year they sat under roof, slowly drying. Then out of the ashes, new life. He had a vision of a grand table to be gifted back to the church on Easter Sunday morning, symbolizing life resurrected. Ken and his cousin Earl spent this past year preparing this table for us to use for the first time this morning. So today we have the privilege of serving communion off of this special table. It is open to all who wish to partake. It now stands before you in new life as the only thing in our church which has truly been with us since the beginning. Just like Christ, it has been looking over us for almost 200 years. So come to the table, for you are welcome here.